Hello, viewers. This is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary series. And it looks like we've got blue-red control on the bottom. On top, I'm not quite sure. It might be the same deck, but he's been making inroads with this Sin Protter like crazy. This thing has been running rampant for 3 turns now. This will be his third attack. Ooh, when he was on 8, he took the startled awake damage to the face thanks to Sin Prodder to make sure he didn't get that card. And Fevered Visions. Okay. Response from Blue-Red Control. Clash of Wills for 1. Alright, take care of the Fevered Visions, otherwise he would have had to have been playing 3 cards next turn to guarantee that he didn't die to the Fevered Visions. No, 4 cards, excuse me, because he would have drawn a card because of Fevered Visions. So pretty much guaranteed kill if that had stuck. And we're going with a lot of mana here. What does he have? Drowner of Hope. Okay. Well, that'll keep him safe from the Sin Prodder attacking for a couple of turns. Or, if he wants to, he can just let it attack in and then double block with the Scion tokens and kill it. But now he's on so low a life, he can't make him discard cards. So the card off the top was Fiery Impulse. He fires it off at a Scion token. In response, he sacks it to put a counter on Majoring Network. Second Fiery Impulse to get rid of the other Scion. In response, sacrifices to tap down the Sin Prodder. I have to say, I am surprised that Blue-Red Control is currently alive. Okay, popping all the counters off his Majoring Networks. This is going to be something big. That's 10. Ulamog? Yes, Ulamog! Getting rid of his blue mana and his Sin Prodder. And 5 damage from the Drowner. So I'm gonna call him blue-red control as well. So Narset versus Chandra. Oh, and sticks the Fevered Visions. So Narset is almost guaranteed to win at this point. Well, actually, no. Played that on his. Yeah, I was gonna say. All that was so damn close. That was 15 damage exactly on the board. If it had been 1 less damage, Fevered Visions would have won him the game. That was one hell of a fight from Chandra there. Being on 1 life and being able to come back and win. So let's go to game 2. Hopefully Narset will have a better mana flow, so we might see a little more excitement. But I have to admit, seeing a Sin Prodder go buck wild for 3 turns plus was a rare sight, and I enjoyed it because I've always said Sin Prodder is a very good card, very powerful. It's just he's weak in all the right ways so that he is ridiculously easy to kill. And a 3/2 Menace is a fine card. There's nothing wrong with that. The fact that your opponent has to dedicate 2 blockers to it usually means that you're either trading up or you're getting through. But then his big block of text added on top of that. You saw what it could do. It's just usually he doesn't get to do it because he's got 2 toughness and pretty much anything can kill it. Okay, turn 3 Fevered Visions from Narset. Response from Chandra is Clash of Wills for 1. And Sinprodder. Chandra responds with Void Shatter. Counter target spell, and it gets exiled. So, this is looking like a very classic aggro versus control matchup at the moment. Startled Awake gets Void Shattered. I mean, so far, everything that he's played has been countered, so that can be good and bad because you're drawing out his counter spells. There's no way that he can guarantee that he's going to have a counter for every single thing that you play. Fevered Visions from Narset. Styx. And now the fun begins. Extra cards all around. Which can be good and bad. It does mean that the blue-red control side, he's going to be getting more cards, probably more counter spells. Sphinx's tutelage from Narset gets negated. Response from Narset is negate on the negate. And Chandra negates the negate. 3 negates to guarantee that Sphinx's tutelage doesn't hit board. Ooh, that's a lot of mana. 6 mana for Chandra Flamecaller. That is pretty bad news for Narset. Here come the elemental tokens. That'll be 6 damage. Take him down to 14. If the player is your opponent and has 4 or more cards in hand, it deals 2 damage. Talent of the Telepath. That went by a lot faster than I would have liked. Got rid of Ulamog, Shrine, Island, Ulamog, Jace, Island, and Clash of Wills. So he didn't get anything from the talent, but he did get rid of quite a few good cards. And then followed it up with a Sin Prodder, but Chandra has an answer for that. Kozilek's Return kills off the Sin Prodder, opening the way for an elemental attack again. That'll be 6 more damage, and Narset is down to 8. He really needs to find a way to defend himself against Chandra here. He is putting the damage from Fevered Visions into Chandra, but it's not going to be soon enough. He's going to take 6 more damage at this rate and be down to 2. Counter on Majoring Network. I have to say, the sheer volume of counterspells that Chandra has played this game has been ridiculous, and most likely doesn't happen all that often. But since it did happen, this game is just going completely in her favor. There's the Elemental's Fiery Impulse from Narset to kill one of them off. That'll leave her at 5. And the Fevered Visions takes Chandra Flamecaller down to 1. And this is kind of his last shot There's Sin Prodder. 2 cards left in hand. Deals damage to that player. Spatial Contortion to kill off Sin Prodder. Void Shatter to try and save him. And a Void Shatter on the Void Shatter. And that is the match. Wow. The Chandra side, blue-red, was just totally in control of that game. I mean, she did play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 counterspells in 10 turns. She only missed a counterspell on 3 turns, otherwise she would have been playing a counterspell every turn. And unfortunately for the blue-red aggressive side, he really couldn't handle that. I mean, he did have a couple of responses here and there to try and upset the balance, but ultimately, Chandra had that game in the bag. So, I'm going to end the video there. That was blue-red control. I'm going to say it's the blue-red control mirror. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me.